So I never want you to get it twisted or beat yourself up or make yourself feel unworthy. If you get it wrong and put something in the wrong order, just take a step back, reassess what's working for me, what's not, and then apply the knowledge that you've learned. Apply the knowledge that you've learned. Hello and welcome back. I'm so excited that you're here. We have had such an amazing amount of engagement and in questions coming in by email from the group. I know it's been a little bit crazier because of holidays and commitments and being busier than ever in our businesses. So I just want to start off today by saying how grateful I am and how much I appreciate how you guys have all been so engaged and really been working through the Beyond Common Success Essentials training. You guys have been doing amazing and getting such great results. Thank you for even emailing me about hiccups that have come up, challenges, obstacles, and then your wins. I love that you're learning the process for celebrating your wins and victories. I'm so proud of you. So we have so much to cover today. We have a lot of stuff to dive into, and I want to be really mindful of making sure we dive into the live lesson and what's most important there. And then that we also make sure I've answered everyone's questions. I know some of you can't be here and are going to be listening to the replay. Some people are going to listen to this on the podcast. So wherever you're tuning in, live, later, I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being engaged. And so excited that you have made Beyond Common Success Essentials part of your business and like career, life, just part of your journey of how you can level up and really start achieving what it's like to live your best life. So thank you so much for that. So the main modules that we had covered were the be a team player, commit to being the best, and love yourself, take care of yourself. So people are like, oh, what do these really have to do with each other? And remember, when we're talking about what's important in living the life of our dreams and living what I like to call the Beyond Common life, it really starts first with us getting clear on why we're here. Like, what is it that we want to do? What are we trying to accomplish? Why is this important to us? Once we clearly know that, everything else falls into place. And then these essentials are like fundamental building blocks. Like if you can remember back when you first were learning to spell, you put the letters together. So one way creates one word, but putting the essentials together in a different way creates something different. And success is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a life process. It's discovery. And there may be specific things, like we talk a lot with salon owners and hairstylists that are really wanting to achieve success in their business. They want to, start with their first 6 figures behind the chair and then work their way to making $1 million in their business. So the thing is that we have the exact recipe for success, right? Success leaves clues. And if you don't put the ingredients in the right order, you won't get the results you want, but you may get a lesson. There may be learning. So I never want you to get it twisted or beat yourself up or make yourself feel unworthy. If you get it wrong and put something in the wrong order, just take a step back, reassess what's working for me, what's not, and then apply the knowledge that you've learned. Apply the knowledge that you've learned. That's how we make our epic failures and the things we've fallen down and stumbled. That's how we make them part of our discovery process for what real success and really living a life that's filled with more joy and happiness and like what it really means to live your best life. That's what it looks like. And that's different for all of us. So surround yourself with people that are living their best life, no matter what industry they're in. They are doing something right. That's who you want to surround yourself with. So as we dive into the be a team player. It's always funny to me because that the way that I talk about being a team player is really about asking, what can I do? Each one of us has really special skills, talents, and things that we can do to add value to every team that we're ever a part of. And if we don't get it right on, hey, this is what adds value, then, and we come at it from a me, or really selfish place, that's how things get twisted and things can go off the rails. So the most toxic things that will ruin our garden of positivity and this beautiful flower of growing a culture that we love, we're proud of. It's really aligned with us living our best life and being on that beyond common journey to becoming the absolute best version of ourselves. We want to make sure our garden of culture always has the right people in it. So when we are part of a team, we want to consider ourselves to be one of the guardians of this beautiful flower garden, herb garden, vegetable garden, whatever type of garden you're into. I love food, so that's why you guys know me by now, that I always am thinking about what's going to make it really, really beautiful and fun and all of that stuff. So that's super, super important. Super important that we're thinking about food. Of course, why wouldn't we? So yes, of course, if you're anything like me, food always makes me happy. That's why I talk about it like success is a recipe. We're talking about this garden, tending to your garden and making sure you have guardians of culture on your team. And again, it could be a flower garden or herb garden, a vegetable garden. It's totally your choice, but know that everything needs to go in the right order. So when we're discussing what that means to be, okay, how am I a guardian of culture? A lot of times when we don't know yet about leadership, or it's our first job, or no one ever taught us, or we never really worked with a leader that took us under their wing, or a mentor that really guided us. When we don't have knowledge, that doesn't mean we are not a good team member. That means that we need to gain the knowledge. We lack the know-how or wherewithal to actually live up to the team experience or expectation of the team. So what I find to be most important in this situation is think about the fact that, you don't know everything. None of us do, but there was a time that you didn't know how to be a good team player. So if you think you're a great team player, then maybe you need to reach out to everybody that you work with and figure out, does what you think it takes to be a team player align with what everybody else does? If this has not been set by the company that you work for, then you collectively as a team can do this. For all of my salon owners and leaders that are part of our group, know that it is your job and your job to set the tone for culture, or other people will do it for you. Because even if you don't have somebody that is so committed to their beyond common journey of, living their best life and being successful, if you don't have someone on your team that's like that, then the culture is still getting run by someone else if you have not defined it. So know that it is the leader's responsibility, but some leaders haven't been exposed to the information and don't even know what to do yet. So again, there's lack of knowledge. So it doesn't mean that anybody's a bad person. We're not going to judge, lay blame, ridicule, put down, gossip, or become mean girls about this. We're going to look at it and say, I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And if they are not doing something that aligns with what I feel in my heart being a team player looks like, we're going to have a conversation. And obviously, I, as a leader, set the tone. Here's the expectations of what I expect in my team. Now, I didn't do that at first. I made all the mistakes thinking that people should live in my brain because I didn't have that leadership knowledge. I had to go out and get it. So you don't always know what level of person you're dealing with. So understand that if we just all assume that people don't know, that's a way better way of going about it than thinking that they do know and they're not doing what's expected of them, whether it's your boss, whether it's you're the boss and you have, a team you're building. Let's assume that if everybody, knew, they would do better. Like, we're all doing the best we can with the information we have. So if we knew better, we would do better. That's, one of the things. So things I look out for when it comes to building a great team, though, is the guardians of culture protect the garden so everyone wins. We make sure that every single person that we put on our team understands that it's not only the leader's responsibility to protect the culture, it's the leader's responsibility to set the tone, create systems, policies, practices that allow us to thrive and flourish in this environment. But it's the entire collective's responsibility to cultivate the garden and not let it rot from the inside out. So when you're looking for warning signals, signs that can cause your team to rot from the inside out, when people start saying stuff like, that's not my job, I don't have a title, I'm not a leader, it is either they are checking out because they're over it, their expectations have changed. We call this sometimes the energetic minimums and maximums of what we want to put out into the world and what we receive back. So look at it this way. When you're a leader, if you know with all certainty that you've set the tone, you've trained them well, there's been leadership training, there's been culture training. Everybody has read Beyond Common, 12 Essentials for Success in life in the workplace. Everybody's read this. You've had book clubs about it, discussions. You've dove deep into the fact that they are trained. Once you've done all of that and exhausted that, then if somebody says, it's not my job, I don't have a title, I'm not a leader, then they do know better. They're choosing not to. But if we have not done our job as leaders to set the tone for what we want our culture to look like, what it really takes to contribute to being a really great team member on your team, then don't put any weight into those words because they don't mean the same thing. That this is just a person that does not know. So when it comes to setting the standards, the best thing we can do is really think about coming at this from the standpoint of, do your actions match your words? So if we say we're a team player, do the actions of what I do support that? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do everything and everyone gets to stand around and watch you, because I've seen many leaders do that, where they're like, oh, well, now I just have to do everything. Where, yes, we have to be willing to do absolutely anything, but we also understand that we pay people to do certain things, and we have to step into our leadership role and become the true CEO and executive of our company. This is not a hobby. It's not a babysitting service. So we have to level that up. And when we're in a situation where we have team members that are complaining that the boss doesn't do the same things as them, a very simple answer to that is, do you want to do my job instead? Or again, making sure that everybody on your team has gone through the process of really being trained on what a team player looks like, what culture, you're setting the tone for. Now, if this is not something that is currently established in the place that you are, managing, working, that you own, then a great place to start is by doing a book club. Give everybody on your team the Beyond Common 12 Essentials to Success in Life in the Workplace. Give it as a gift, get them to buy whatever works, and come together and talk about it. This is a great way to start having conversations that lead to you really leveling up being a team player and really getting that clear. Because what we don't want to do is become one of those people that says, no one ever shows up for me, no one's there for me, so I'm not going to ask for help. We want to always be open to ask for help. We always want to be open and willing to receive help. And again, some of my biggest leadership mistakes were assuming that everybody in the world already knew what it took to be a team player, that you would stand there and say, oh, I have an extra 10 minutes. Let me get your client, let me get them a cape and get them set up for you. Let me get them coffee, tea. Let me take them on a tour. These are things I naturally knew to do when I worked for other salon owners, but I realized other people didn't step into that. So at our salon, we made it part of our core training. The first 2 weeks is really learning the skills of what it takes to create a great guest experience. So that makes the client fall in love with the whole company and makes them feel really special the moment they walk in the doors. The energy is the same no matter who's greeting them. So that's a way that, but at first I did that all wrong. I was like, well, why doesn't she know? And what is she, an idiot? And the more that's where that discovery of why I think it's the most quoted line or famous Tracyism that people always tell me about is like, sense is not common. So stop having the expectation that people should have common sense. You don't know where their learning path is. And there's a ton of stuff that you don't know that they might look at you and think, why don't you have common sense? So rather than standing in judgment, let's get to the point of having real conversations that may have some constructive criticism, some feedback that's less than ideal, but this is how we learn and grow. Put your pride on the shelf, be open to stretching beyond your comfort zone, be open to receiving help and letting people know that you need help. So the other thing is that being a team player, I assumed that everybody had this part in their heart that was like, they're always going to do what's best for the greatest good of all involved. And that's literally like my mantra, my purpose in life is how can I help elevate the beauty in the world so that we're all living our life purpose. We're all pursuing a passionate love career that really ignites our soul and makes us so happy. So if we can get all the people in the world that own businesses to only hire people that are totally in line with their mission and vision, and get, all the people that are looking for jobs to find the business owners that are totally aligned with our own core values and what our purpose is and what lights our soul on fire. What a beautiful world we could, live in, be. And literally that's why I wrote Beyond Common, the 12 Essentials. And then that's how this program, the Beyond Common Success Essentials course and training, the coaching program, the masterminds, like all the stuff has come because of my love and passion for saying, hey, don't work somewhere that you don't get the vision. Go work somewhere where you do, because that is what life's about. Enjoy yourself. We spend a lot of time at work. We might as well love what we're doing and what we're a part of. So that's like that core fundamental, because I don't look at being a team player the same way the average person does. I look at it so different because we need to dive in and look at the fact that if all this stuff isn't aligned for us, like if we feel like we haven't trained our team properly, we haven't even clarified it for ourselves, what being a team player looks like, the purpose of why we're here, being present, who we serve. If we haven't clarified our business mission, vision, our core values, what we stand for, given jobs to our guardians of culture, which are our supportive team members, if we haven't mapped that all out, you can't expect anyone to be a great team player. You might not even be being one. So when we say be a team player, we have to do some inner work. Then we have to externally share it and develop it, and then bring people into the fold. Now, you can do all three of these simultaneously. You don't have to wait for perfection until it's all written down. You can let people know it's a work in progress and you want their input, and this is how you really create something amazing. This is where it's like, I used to not understand, when people would say, oh, if you ever want to do anything great, it takes people. So nothing great ever happens alone. My mentor, John C. Maxwell, he always says that. And I'd be like, oh, but I'm strong. So it's like, you have to work on you, clarify what you stand for. Here's my mission, vision. This is of what I want the company to look like. If people start, rubbing against those, that is where there's a breakdown. And my number one leadership mistake that I made over and over until I finally got this, oh my God, you could probably call any member of my team that ever worked with me that knows, because it's like you have to laugh at yourself about this. But I would totally believe someone's word that they're all about being a team player. Like, we'd have all these people come in and they'd shadow they do like these shadow days and stay in the salon and watch us and all. And they would say to us, oh my God, I just want to be here so badly because it's so positive. Everyone has good energy. The clients, like you can talk to them. They're treating all the stylists great. Like this is so amazing. And then they'd come to be part of the program, part of work. And they were like, oh, I have to do this. I have to do, yeah, to create this most amazing energetic energy, you need to do the work. So we had people lined up around the corner that wanted to work with us as long as they could just suck off the energy and like feed off the fat. But once they got behind the scenes to see that it takes the contribution of everyone living their best life, being comfortable having conversations that are a healthy debate, growing outside of like our vulnerabilities and insecurities, like having these challenging, like real conversations, then it's like, I don't want this. This is horrible. You guys are awful. The thing is that you only can create this amazing, positive, powerful energy when people are open to growth and development. So this became a funny, like I learned this a million times because people kept saying, oh, I want to be the part of this. I'm so but they were the negative person everywhere they went. Sometimes, not saying everyone, sometimes. Or they didn't understand that, yes, I am very positive and optimistic, but if you are not doing something right, I'm going to tell you. That doesn't make me a mean leader or a mean coach. This is the way through. You have to work through this. And people at first would be all about that. They wanted the coaching, but as a long-term, sometimes people are like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't want to grow anymore. And that was their energetic max. So they went on about their way. But I had set really clear expectations and boundaries for what our company was about, who we stand for, how we make our clients feel, what guests. And when, people had been in our company long enough that maybe they didn't want to do that anymore, or they had outgrown it or whatever, totally free to go. Nothing ever was keeping you there. So be a team player and be committed to that and know that, people are going to move on. And that was a hard lesson for me. Like I, for a long time, took it very personal. It like cut me to the core because I felt like I had poured my heart and soul into people and they just gutted me. It was very, very painful, very hard lesson. Though I know it wasn't intentional, it was always for the best for them. And it was for the best for us to grow because we got better at how we attract people, not falling for the same stuff, understanding that when we met in the beginning, it's like one of those things, like when you focus on anything for long enough and follow the recipe, like we're talking about, and you put things in the right order, you will achieve success if you just don't quit. And usually in about 12 months of doing anything, it'll finally pop off. If you're showing up consistently, taking feedback, trying a new way, you will achieve success. And one of the things that would happen in our like be a team player situation would be that all of a sudden people would pop off and start making this, what they considered a really great amount of money. They're getting close to 6 figures and oh my God, I haven't even been doing this long. I'm so amazing. I'm so awesome. And they would start to get a huge ego. And we would want to kind of pull that balloon back down so they could still fit their head through the door. And some of them, it didn't work out and God bless them. I'm sure life lessons, other things taught them how to humble, that everyone is not as loving and supportive. And other things are like, they hate me because I, tried to not let them be a rock star in our business because our business did not need rock stars. Our clients are the rock stars. We're here to serve. We are here to make a great experience. Nobody is better than anyone. We collectively are having a most amazing salon culture and experience that our clients get to enjoy. Now, people that want that rock, like I'm a rock star, I want my clients to think like I'm a superstar, that's a whole different thing. And go work somewhere that aligns with you if that's what you really want. I've always tried to teach people that if you give more than you take, then your clients will have long-term loyalty. Your team, whether they, stay with you forever or just for a season, You actually taught them how to grow. And in those deep moments, they appreciate it. They love you for it, even though they, maybe acted emotionally. So I want you to understand that if you're just starting out in business and you're not sure about the people around you, encourage them. Form a book club. Do the Beyond Common, 12 Essentials book club. This is a great way to introduce the conversation. Give people the opportunity to learn these things because maybe they just don't know. That's how we really all come together and really can level up our industry from this greatest place of goodness deep in our heart, right? And this is true for any business, any industry. But I think it's so powerful in the salon industry because we have a tendency to have this stigma about being gossipy and catty and like being very emotional. Like, okay, well, she looked at me the wrong way, so I'm out of here. And making serious business decisions based on that. Where no, maybe she just got a call from the doctor and she has a lump in her breast. She's not even looking at you. You just don't know what someone's going through. Maybe her client just told her that her uncle's dying. And maybe there's a relation and she's looking into space. So you just don't know what people are going through. So have a conversation, share people your goals, your hopes, your dreams, what you're looking to get out of being a team, what defines being a team player for your team. If you're a leader that you feel like, oh no, I've done such a bad job because it got hard. It's tiring. It's exhausting. I feel like I started off really leading my team in a great, powerful way. We had clear culture guidelines. We had clear expectations of how we treat each other, how we treat the team. But I've been lacking because it's just been too hard to hold, everybody able. Admit that. Invite your team for a conversation and admit that. Admit that you need help. You need support. Come up with fun games, things that you guys can hold each other able. Being a team player is not like, oh my God, I'm LeBron James and now everyone wants to be around me. No, because if he acts like that, we've seen it. People don't want to be around him, right? And other times, like he has invested in others and people love him. So we all have our seasons. But if you're committed to really growing and developing yourself, you need to know what it's like to develop a strong team, whether that's like a support team at home, your actual business team. Maybe you are a solo entrepreneur and you want to stay that. So maybe your team consists of a virtual assistant, marketing help, and a cleaning person. That's still a team. So you want to have the skills that clearly say, okay, her strength is teaching people hope and possibility. Like I'm really good, visionary, painting the picture, but I need other people on my team that are going to like dot the I's and cross the T's because I'm not the best at that. Now I've learned to grow and develop that skill, but I am never going to be like the highest, like I'm never going to be the best at that. There's so many other people that love to do that maybe are petrified to think about vision. They're like, I don't know, just tell me what to do and I'm going to support it because my heart, mind, and soul aligns with your vision, but I could never come up with it. See, like that's my person. Even now in my business today, I still need those people that are like, I just want to help women and everything is amazing. I'm not going to come up with a vision, Trace, just tell me what to do. Like, that's great. And then as they know the business more, they're like, well, I think we should try this. They develop a voice. They see things that you might have missed. But they're the type of person that dots I's and crosses T's, right? So sometimes it can be confusing in the salon because maybe everybody does hair. Okay, so you're like, oh, we got to be competitive instead of collaborative. No, you do not. Because I bet you Sally loves to do balayage, where Trisha loves to do gray coverage. Then Terry loves to do precision haircuts. Like she wants to do bobs and men's cuts all day. So the thing is that yes, you will all do everything. You'll do makeup, you'll do that, maybe you do everything now and you don't want to do hair anymore. You're like, I want to do makeup and makeup only. Okay, let's make a plan for you to be your best self, but be on a team that supports that vision. Because the thing is that yes, we can all do everything, but we can specialize and get really specific in what we offer. And being a team player doesn't mean that, oh, she's in the spotlight. No, like what are you great at? What is your thing? If you are authentically showing up as you, everybody recognizes that, and then everybody on the team wins. So understand that sometimes when it feels like, oh, everyone else has their thing and I'm over here and there's jealousy, insecurity. It's because we've been hiding who we are. We have been hiding our true essence of who we are. We've been afraid of it for our own selves, let alone to share it with our team members. So I empower you. I encourage you to dig in on this one. This one is so important that you really figure out who you are and how you let your light shine. Because once you do that, the team, you are such a great team player and people want you on your team because you're shining bright. Like literally, if you were just the best at picking out lipsticks, but you did it with such passion, everybody in the sun would be like, oh, I really need her. Oh, where is that Amanda? I really, really want her to pick out my lipstick because she's so passionate about it. What do I need to take home today? I mean, so whatever that looks like for you, this is very different approach to being a team player than what everyone else tells you, because you have to be your best self first. So if you haven't done that work, do that work. Then you can show up as a team player. When we're healing old traumas and hurts, like you can be in the process of healing that and still becoming, like on your journey to becoming a great team player, but let people know so they're not surprised at where you are. No one's expecting perfection of anyone, of any leader, of any new person. Be clear, be honest, speak, your real thoughts and have a real conversation, because it does no one any good if you're a yes person, whether that's the leader or the team member. Nobody wants yes people. They're boring. Seriously, tell the truth. It's so much more exciting, even if it's uncomfortable for 1 second. It's so much more fun. So I hope that you find this useful. I hope it serves you. Please let us know your, questions. I will answer them on the call. I tied all the questions that we did get into this week's lesson. So I hope that was helpful, because so many of you reached out about, well, everyone around me is negative. So how am I supposed to be a good team player? So this is how you have to do the work to feel like your best self. And then you're never going to control them. You can only control you. But you can have standards, you can have boundaries. If people don't meet those, find another person. Because I tell you what, if you set a standard and everyone knows that it doesn't go below this, that's a leader I respect, right? When you start dancing around, and I'm so guilty of this, I did it wrong because I'm like, oh, I already have a history with this person. I love them. They've been with me 7 years, more, whatever. But maybe they weren't hitting it anymore. But because you're already you're human, we're human, it's okay. Just know that the more conversations you have doing this with intention, we're forever growing, right? And the best way to be a good team player is to wholeheartedly love yourself and get that piece right, because you are so much better at your role and how you serve your team. So I hope you have the most amazing week. Thank you so much for being here, and I cannot wait to see you on the next one.